marching melody lane. With me you're gonna have a great crafting time.
Hello everybody! Good morning! Let me turn my phone down. Happy Saturday, guys! We are live! Yay! Plumps, you're gonna have to move, buddy. How's everybody's morning going so far? Good morning, Sue, Gloria, Jamie. Sue, Gloria, Sue, Gloria, and Jamie, and whoever else is watching. Hello, Diane! Hello, hello. I got some and should have a delivery today. Did anyone get the new colors of cardstock yet? I do not have them yet, Sue, but I'm getting them. I could really use them for my card, too, today that I'm doing today. I was like, man, I really need that Botanicals pack and the Sunset pack? Okay. Hello, Oma. Good morning. Oh, yeah, Plumps got down. Plumps always likes to sit up here with me, but I'm like, hey, I'm going to have to use my computer in a minute, buddy. You're going to have to go. Oh, definitely, Jamie. That is nice when you get it solved on the first try. Hello, Rocky. Hello, Sherry from Butte, Montana. That's beautiful there, isn't it? I feel like that's gorgeous probably in Butte, Montana. The mountains there always look gorgeous. Hello, Donna. Welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday. It's a little chilly here. I'm right outside Chicago, and it's, well, it was 45 a couple minutes ago, but it's supposed to be like 50 today. I'm like, this doesn't feel springy. Ready for, like, leave the windows open. My heat came on. I'm like, I don't want the heat in the middle of April. Oh. Anybody working on anything this morning? I know I was up late. I was watching the Pope's funeral. I almost delayed the video because I thought it was going to be on the same time I was doing my video today, but then I realized it was local time in Rome. So, hi. Yep. All right, so for today's video, I'm going to be doing a flamingo. It wasn't this image set video, it was the last one. We were doing, when we do our new image set video, there were some images of a flamingo, and he had like a martini or margarita or something in his hand, and I thought that was cute. And so I was thinking tropical flamingo. I haven't done a flamingo. I like flamingos, and I like tropical, and I got some really cool paper somewhere, but I don't know where that is. So I thought I'd do like a layered, almost like shadow box flamingo card. Hello, Dawn. Glad to see you here. Glad you're feeling good. So let's go ahead. Good. That's what you should be doing, Dawn. Resting after. You get to like rest from the cabin too. Or not the cabin, but your camper. So we're going to go ahead, go into Design Space, and we're going to go ahead and build this. Let's go into, hold on, Plumps. Cat's up here hitting my fingers now. Buddy, this is where you're really going to have to move. Okay. So in Design Space here, I went and I just I always look for something. I want to make something different. So I always start by looking at projects, and then I just typed in flamingo card. And there's some really cute ones in there, but I want to do something a little different than I had quite seen in there. So I first just searched tropical scenes, and I found this piece here. Hold on, Plumps, you gotta move. Okay. To get my cat down, and he had his claws in me. He's like, no, I must sit here and you must pet me, peasant. Oh, so true, Sue. He's right here, always. It's always my plumpers. Okay, so I went and I believe I typed in like tropical border, and I got this piece here. And I thought we could go ahead and build. Let me extend this a little bit. I thought we could go ahead and build off of here. So, but I don't necessarily like these palm trees. I don't love them, so we're going to see how to go ahead about and cut those out. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to resize this card. I am going to make this a 5 by 5.75 squared. So I'm going to go up to the size here and just change this to 5.75. And then because it's locked and it's a square, automatically made it that as a square. Now I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I do want to cut this out, and then my plan is to put some, I'm still going to do palm trees. I just don't love these palm trees. So we're going to look for different palm trees, and then I'm going to add some layers of leaves and flamingo and put a cocktail in his hand. And then on the inside, I'm going to do some print and cut with some draw too. All right, so first I'm going to go to shapes. I want to go ahead and cut these. I want to get these 2 palm trees cut out of here. Plumps, you can't. I can't. You have to. My kitty is not giving up. He's like, no, you will. You will rub me. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag my square here. And I don't have to do the whole thing. I just want to cut these palm trees out. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this down. But I do want to make sure I don't, I'm pointing with my finger like you can see me. I want to make sure I don't cut the top off here. So you really want to get it lined up just like so. If you are going to cut some off, then I would just recommend extending it all the way. That way if you cut it off, that it's even. Does that make sense? And I can tell this needs to go up a tiny bit. I'm going to extend it down a little bit more. I'm just trying to get that to cut all the way across there. And I think that looks good. I always like to duplicate before I do this. So I'm going to just duplicate that one. And drag my mouse over both of those and hit slice. Oh, and I did cut it a tiny bit, so I'm going to go back, undo that. And I need to move it down a tad. You can really like zoom in too if you need to. I did this yesterday, like perfectly on the first, and I knew I'm like, ooh, that is so hard to do, to line them up perfectly. But if you're worried about, just extend it all the way. And then that way, if it's off, the line will be straight going all the way across. So I think that looks good there. We got the palm trees cut off there. So we're going to go ahead and select both of those and hit slice. Now we can go ahead and start deleting the pieces we don't need, and then we're not stuck with, but we're left with just this here, which is what I want to go ahead and put some palm trees on. Right? You can get so close. I did it twice yesterday and it cut perfectly. I was like, ooh, that was amazing, because usually when you get them lined up, it could, even just the tiniest sliver, will show. All right, so let's go into palm trees. Well, let's do trees. And when we were live yesterday, Mindy said Cracker Barrel had their flamingo stuff, and I was like, yes, I must make something flamingo. But first I have my filter on here, so I'm going to turn this filter off because I had it filtered to draw. If you guys could see my cat, he's trying every way to get to me. Plumps, I can't, buddy. Okay. And I'm looking for single palm trees. I like one more with a jagged edge, kind of like that, but you don't want it too busy. You could too, if you wanted multiple ones, you could put something like that on. That one's really good. I'm going to go ahead and go to my bookmarked, because I know I bookmarked. I asked me about print and cut. It just wastes so much paper. I didn't pay for Cricut to do print and cut. I have a printer to print in hand. Oh, yeah, you don't have to. That's a nice thing. You can if you want. This palm tree here we'll go ahead and add. And then a straight one too. So let me go ahead and add this one. I like doing print and cut sometimes for the, on the inside you'll see I'll do like a tropical border that's print and cut, that there's no way you would do that with just regular cutting. You could, I guess. You could. Oh, I should have took a picture. All right, so I do want this, I am going to weld this together eventually, so you're not gonna see the overlapping. Hi, Kimberly. Hello, hello. All right, so that may be good. This one I'm gonna shrink down some. I want this one more of a straight one. Possibly like that. Before I go ahead and weld these, I want to go get some more pieces and figure out spacing and all of that. So let's go ahead. We have these two pieces. I want to go grab a flamingo. So let's go into images. We're going to look at flamingos. Hi, Alex. Good afternoon. It is afternoon to you. Alrighty. And when I was looking for flamingos, so I went through and I was looking for different flamingos. You wanted a flamingo that has, see how his foot sticks out pretty far here? That's what we're looking for, because we want to put a drink in his hand. And you can't, if he's got like, kind of like, well, look at that one. He's so cute. Lots of them have shorter legs coming off, so I really like looked through the flamingos till I found one. And I ended up grabbing this one, which I like because he has a flower too. So let's shrink this down. We can go ahead and flip this horizontally. And we'll do something like that there. So I just want to make sure before I do this first layer that I think these palm trees are okay where they are. Probably gonna slant this one a little bit. I feel like most palm trees aren't perfectly straight. And before I do this, I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this piece again, because I'm gonna go ahead and grab the piece of water from it. So now I know that these are in the right place. I can go ahead and unite or weld. I always like to unite the first time. And then if I'm sure I can weld it, so I'm just gonna hit unite here. And now we've made that all one piece. So this can be our outside layer of our card, but we want to make it the full card base first, because right now we just have like the front of it. So what I'm going to do, I want two of the exact same size pieces, so I'm just going to duplicate this. Then we're going to put this right next to it, but first I'm going to go ahead and contour this out. But as you can see, I can't contour it because I united it. But if I would have welded it, I could. So now I'm just going to take the same piece. I can't. I got to undo unite. So I'm going to undo the unite because I want to contour it. Because watch, once I weld it, it now becomes contourable. That seems like a weird word, contourable. So now we can hit contour and hit hide all contours. And then we're left with just the solid piece, which is what we want because we want to build this as the card. So I always like to zoom in now because you gotta be able to see really close. If you zoom in, you can see there's a teeny tiny little bit of space there. So we need to move that just in the tiniest bit. And then I can take my mouse, drag it on both, and I'm gonna align the top. And now that looks like it's there, but we're gonna go ahead and see, it looks like it's together, but they could just be butted up too. So we're gonna go ahead and take and draw our mouse over both of those, combine, and let's weld. Okay, perfect. If that line in the middle disappears, it means we are welded. So we are good there. And we can also go ahead and grab a score line while we're at it. So let's grab shapes, grab our score line. You don't have to worry about getting in the middle because we are going to let Design Space put it in the middle. So just take your mouse again, drag it over all of it, hit align, and then hit center horizontally. And then that will put your score line right there in the middle. So then we can drag our mouse over that and hit attach. And then we have the card front ready to go. Although I am making this green. Although pink looks fabulous too. Okay, make it green. I always feel like with Flamingo and Tropical, you need like shades of green and pinks. So we have that piece. We have our Flamingo here, but we're gonna need to get a drink, but I wanna do layers behind this of different, what do you call it? Tropical leaves? What do you call that? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead but for the inside pieces, I was going to go ahead and build them off here, which you could, and then get them underneath, but then you got to get those pieces lined up perfectly that nothing shows through. So I thought I'll just take a regular square and start from that and build those. So we're going to go ahead and shapes, grab a square, and shrink that down. And then the square we're going to make 5.752. Although I feel I should do like 5.73 maybe. And then I want to inset this because I want to get it just like a frame, just like it is here. Thanks, Oma. If at first you don't get it, just play some more. That's what. And then after you do it the first time, it's so much easier after that, right? The first time you create something, it can take hours, and then the second time you recreate it, it's like, oh, that's so much easier. I want to make sure, though, my box is not bigger. I don't want it to be a thicker border than this, otherwise that idea won't quite work. It's pretty close there. Okay, and I have that inset, so we'll hit apply. And then now I just want to cut out what's overlapping. So I can drag my mouse over both of those, or you can select one, hit shift and select the other, and then combine and subtract. Palm fronds. What is palm fronds, Kimberly? I'm interested. Okay, so now we have this piece here, which is going to be a layer to go underneath, but we need some tropical leaves. So let's go to images. Type in tropical leaves, and this is a good one. We're going to do 2 different layers of these, so I'm going to go ahead and start with this leaf. First, I am going to go ahead and duplicate this one so I have another layer. But then we are going to shrink this. I'm going to flip it horizontal. There we go. And then don't worry about, we're going to have pieces hanging over, but we're going to go ahead and slice that before we weld it together. Oh, palm fronds. That's what they're called, the leaves on the palm tree. I did not know that, Kimberly. I was like, what are palm fronds? I had no clue. Okay, I think that one looks pretty good there. Let's go ahead and duplicate it because I want to put one over in this side too. But then we will flip this. Like that. I'm going to make this one a little bit smaller, I think. And if you want to rescale it, you can grab the sides too and stretch it how you like. I think that looks good for that layer. We shall see. We can always change it. That's why I will unite it. But we're going to go ahead, drag over all of it for... Oh, can't. I'm going to select this one, my border, hit slice. Then we can go ahead and pull out the pieces we do not need. Which is that piece there we can delete. And then we have this piece here. So all we have to do to this though is contour it. So we can click here to contour, and then we can select to hide these pieces. Slide that over where it was. Should be like that. Okay. And then we're gonna do the same thing with this. Oh, I'm gonna send this to the back. Wait, it lets me click it here. Now I can click here, select here, and slice. We're gonna do the same thing. Take that green piece, delete it, and then we can move this up and contour. And just click off each one of these. All right, now that we have that done, we can go ahead, drag our mouse over all of it. I'm going to unite it because if I feel like I need to move it, it's easier. Once you save and weld, you won't be able to undo the weld. So I always like to unite till I'm for sure, and then I can weld. Oh, I wish, Kimberly. She's like, I'm watching mine swing in the breeze. I wish I was watching palm trees. That would be fabulous. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to make this a different color though, because I do not want it. There we go. I don't want it gray. We're going to do, I think I did this one actually like a pink, which I may do another green, but I am going to make this just a tiny, tiny bit smaller because I am putting it on this card and it's going to have multiple layers. So I was worried about it folding. So I'm just going to make this instead of 5.7. Ooh. 5.75, I'm just going to do like 5.7. And that gives just a little bit of room for each layer to make sure it doesn't stick out. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one too. I'm going to change this to 5.7. There we go. So now we have this layer, which we can send this to the back. Which we may do that one green, I'm not sure. But then we have this piece here and I want to do a different leaf so we can build different layers of that. So we'll go back into leaves. This one's a possibility. This one's a possibility too. So let's go ahead and grab these two. I do like the, I don't know how you describe them, more leafy like ones just because I think they layer really good, but I do love a good monstera. Monstera? This plant. Oh, but I'd want it in opposite corners. So my plan is to I put these two in these corners, so I'd like to layer in the other two corners. And this may be too much, I'm not sure. I'm just gonna go ahead and duplicate this again too. Okay, I have that. It is 12 o'clock somewhere. It's 12 o'clock in the villages. What do you mean you'll learn to use your machine, Dawn? What are you talking about? You are great at your machine. I am not sure what you're talking about. All right, we'll go ahead and rotate this one too. This might be too much of a leaf behind the other. I haven't tried this, so I just want to look at it and see what I think if I do this. Which those aren't overlapping at all, so there's nothing in there that I need to slice. So I'm going to drag my mouse over all those and hit unite. All right, and let's make this a green. Let's do like a lighter green. I'm gonna send this behind. If I don't like that, we'll go ahead and do the more fern looking one. It's a possibility. I don't hate it. Let's go ahead, just for fun, play with this one. Which needs to go in this corner. So I'm gonna do this one too, and then we can see which one we like. Maybe we decide we like all of them, and we just do another layer. I'm not sure. I have to send it to the back so I can easily grab that other piece. Sue was having a parade outside her house today. She could watch from her window. And I was talking about, I said, oh, it'd be cool if you could catch candy from your window, Sue. And then I was like, they don't throw candy at so many parades anymore. Do they throw candy at parades by you? That's like the kids' favorite part. I think somebody got pelted with too many candies. Remember they'd throw those like gobstoppers at you and stuff. Those suckers were like little rocks. All right, let's go ahead and duplicate this also. Then we can flip horizontal, flip vertical. And this one, I think I like it better if it's like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and slice this. I'm gonna select both of those and hit slice. Then we can delete that green cut piece. And it is cut in the black piece here, but when we weld or unite, we're gonna put it back together. So we're not gonna move that at all. But then we'll go ahead and contour out that piece also. And then go ahead and drag your mouse over it. Oh, where am I going? Combine and unite. All right, so we have, oh, no. Do not stretch it. Undo. Now we have this piece here. Now we have to see which one we're gonna like better. So. I'm just gonna bring this to the front so I can easily grab it, move that out, and I have this piece too. We're gonna send this one to the back. I think I kind of like the Monstera better. Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and save too before I forget that. What do you guys think? Do you like, I actually kind of like that Monstera one better, I feel like. I think it just fills it better. So we're gonna move this one out. I'm gonna put this one back in. Yeah, right? I didn't play with this before, but I really like it. Yeah, it just gives more leaves. I would actually probably like to rotate this leaf a little bit. But, oh, actually, it's probably in a good spot though, because once we add a martini to the flamingo. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our flamingo buddy here. I'm gonna bring him to the front. And I'm going to duplicate them because I do want to do 2 layers of the flamingo so we can do the inside layer having a different color. So we'll go ahead, our flamingos grouped together, but we need just the body part. So we can go ahead and click here and then we're going to hit contour. And we are going to hide all contours because we just want it to be the background piece. Just like that. And we don't need his legs either. So you can go here. This is the group. You can just delete it or hide it. So I'm just going to hide his feet. And then this we could make a different color. As you see when I click here though, it says question color because it's taking the whole item. If I just click on the flamingo body or the body part, then you can go ahead and change the color. So let's, or should he be pink? Maybe he should be pink. Well, of course he should be pink. He's a flamingo. Let's make him bright pink. Okay. Then let's make this that softer color. Again, we'll click there. And then this will essentially go behind that flamingo. Well, and sometimes you have a hard time. Do you guys ever have a hard time when you hit send backward, and it's not sending it backward? Just go over to the other one you want in front. Like I want this one in front. So I'm just going to click on this and then hit bring to front, which that's always going to work for you for that. Holy cow, Dawn, you have not made a flamingo card? Oh my gosh. She said I'm slowing down. She's made 275 cards already. Holy cow. Yes, you have to. Yeah, I love tropical colors. It's just like summer fun tropical colors, and I'm ready for summer. I say that, but you know. And you could make this pink another shade of green, but I kind of like, it would be a lots of green, and I like the soft pink kind of with it too. So, next he needs a drink in his hand. So let's go to images. And I feel like a flamingo would have a margarita. I don't know why. But a simple, like this one is, this is my bookmarked. These are cute. I love that. That one that Alex used. It's adorable. Look at these. But this one is simple. I just want one. When you look for a margarita, let's just go to all. You're going to get lots of different options. But I want one that can cut in one piece to put on, where you're not putting all these little centers of the limes in. That's huge. Which you could. I would do vinyl or iron-on for that probably. If you wanted, you could do a print then cut and put it in his hand too, or her hand. Oh, I love the colors of that one. I can't make everyone happy. I'm not a margarita. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to go to my bookmarked because that one was simple. It will cut in one piece, which I love. That's all we need it to do. So we can shrink this down. And then I would make it, I think, like yellow. That way it's kind of like a lemon. And you can go ahead and resize it if you want it wider or whatever. Where does a flamingo hold it exactly? Like there? I think like there. Which we may make this. I may end up making the flamingo bigger too. I'm just going to go ahead and group all these together. That way this is all one piece. And then I can go ahead and resize it from there. There we go. I'm like, I think we need this flamingo bigger. And then also what I want to do is I want to get this river right here. It's not a river. It's a flamingo. It's an ocean. Thanks, Gloria. Oh, that is so funny, Gloria. The cat looks like it's climbing under the lid of the toilet tank, and the cat's name is Mischief. It's a perfect name for a cat, too. Okay, so we want to get, I'm going to take this part here, the river, and I just want to glue that on, so I can just go ahead and take this piece here and just contour it. I'm going to hit hide all contours, and then I'm going to click the water here. But when you hide all contours, it always shows one, so make sure you click off the other piece you didn't need, which is that there. Now I'm left with just this, and then I can make this blue. And then I'll be able to glue that on the front. Let's go ahead and bring this to the front. There we go. And then glue that into place on the front. So, and now we just need to add a happy birthday, because it needs to say something on the front. So we'll go to images. We are going to do happy birthday. And I'm going to filter because I want to get one that's drawn. So I'm going to hit draw. And this is my bookmarked, but this one is perfect actually. So we're going to take this happy birthday, but we're going to offset it and add some layers too. It always cracks me up at melodies. My mom's fridge has melody inside of it. And then, Alex, is that at your house? Is that the Airbnb? One of them has melody on the toilet seat lid when you lift it, and it says, "I see your butt." And I don't know whose house that is. I just know it's there. I can resize this if I want, but what I want to do with this first is I want to go ahead and set an offset. So drag it to the right so it's an offset and not an inset. And I think that looks good there, so we're going to apply it. Now it was set to draw, so as you can see, it's like the pen line around it, but I can go ahead and change that, and we'll just change it to a cut. We'll go ahead and make it white. And then we have that there. But I do want to add a couple more layers around it. So I'm going to take that offset and add another offset. And it'll keep the spacing too when you go to do it again. But I want to make this one a little smaller. We'll hit apply. Let's make this soft pink. And then we're going to offset it one more time. Make this one a little thicker. Yes. And let's go ahead and make that one pink. And our first offset, we want to look at here. If you can see these little dots here, those are little holes in the contour where it didn't fill out all the way, but we're going to go ahead and contour those out. So just hit contour, and you can see they're little tiny pieces. Wait. Okay. Thought there was a piece right here. It was on my computer screen. I'm like, wait, is that there or not? But we can hit hide all contours, and it's going to hide those little ones. And you want to make sure you take the draw part. You want it to actually draw on it. So you're going to take that, hit shift, select the offset, the first offset, and then you can go ahead and hit attach. That way it will draw on it. But then we're going to group all these together. And then you can resize it here however you like it to fit. Do something like that. All right, and we'll go ahead and hit save. And now that is the outside of the card. So for the inside of the card, I feel like I could put something down here, but I don't know what. Like, I don't think maybe it needs it. I think maybe I just think it does. I would almost like if the water came down more and it was thicker, which... I may end up doing. I think I'm going to end up... I'm not going to do that now because it'll be a whole bunch because I'll have to go back and change this piece, but... Or I can add more to it and then slice out. But I'm somehow going to make this water. I just think it would be good if this water came out a little more. So on Tuesday when I put it together, I'll have it like that. But I'm going to finagle and play with some things. So let's go ahead and do the inside. So for the inside... I want to do print and cut all, and I want to do tropical border. This one here is perfect and super cute. There's another one that's really cute too. When I played around with mine to find mine, this is the one I ended up doing. But let me show you another one that's super, super cute too. Well, it's kind of like this. So I'm going to do advanced search. Which do you guys, when you look for images, do you usually, I usually almost always go into advanced search just because I like that you can see ones like it. Oh, isn't that true? Cats are so funny with all their personalities. You guys will have to see on ChatGPT, you can upload pictures of your animals and tell them to humanize it. And I did one of all my animals and you can give them personalities. Like, so Jax had a hoodie on with gold chains. Plumps was a sir and he had like a monocle and a bow tie on. And then Mama's, I said, was like the librarian. So, and it made them humans. It was so funny. Yes, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to click on this one because it's going to show me more images like that. Which, Dawn, if you didn't want to do print and cut, this would be a good one for the inside. Tropical, because you could just cut those couple pieces and put it on. So if you didn't want to do print and cut, that would be a good possibility. There's one other one that's super duper cute. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, this one. This one's adorable too. I'm going to add that to the canvas. So somebody wanted that, but you could do that on the inside. I think that's so adorable. But we're going to go ahead and use, leave that one in there. We're going to go ahead and use this piece. But we're going to do print and cut and draw. So for the print and cut, I want it to cut the whole thing out. But as you can see the grid marks here. So it's going to cut here, but I want it to be a solid piece. So I'm going to go ahead and go to shapes. squares. Holy cow, 28. I don't even want to know how much that cost on. That sounds frightening. Sounds very, very expensive. Yes, Patreon. One thing that about the Patreon in our projects too, a lot of places, other projects, you have to like download or export into Design Space. Ours are all created in Design Space. So all you have to do is click on the file and open it and you can make it. Now we do use lots of times Cricut Access fonts and images that aren't free. So if you, oops, just talking, not listening, or talking and not paying attention. So if you have Cricut Access, you're going to get the most out of the membership for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and make that white. I'm going to send this to the back. And then I can drag my mouse over both of those and hit, oh, maybe it didn't grab both. Both of those and hit flatten. So now it's going to make this as a complete print and cut. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to add to it too. I want to add a hibiscus. That's something else. I feel like all tropical. Add a hibiscus. I'm going to do a print and cut hibiscus. And drag that down. Not sure how big I need it, but I'm just going to drag it on all that and hit flatten again. So then this will all print and cut. So we'll go ahead and put this up here. What holiday stuff are you guys working on next? It's always like weird, I feel like after Easter, there's a little, I'm going to bring this in a little bit. I want to have a little bit more of a border around it. Like that there. But our government gave us our 10-year loan with no interest. Oh, that's cool. Imagine that. I don't think we get that here, Dawn. All right, let's go to text. And I was thinking on the inside for it to say, hope you have, let's see. Hope you have a Flamazing. Hope you have a Flamazing birthday. But I want this to go ahead and draw. Instead of cutting it, I'm going to have it draw. So first, let's go ahead and go to the fonts. I'm going to change the style right here. As you can see, the style is regular. I want a writing font, so I'm going to switch to writing. And as you can see how it changed that there. And I had already selected, you can go in here too and select writing, which I already have that checked. And I had selected decorative. I was looking for a decorative font, so I selected that. Don't you guys love how you can see the font now in what your what it's gonna say? That's so much better. I feel like it saves a lot of time because before I would apply it and then look at it in the writing and be like, oh, nope, I don't like that. But here you can just see it all. Oh yeah, Mother's Day and Father's Day. And I really like, one I like is DJ Flirt. I like the little hearts. I just think it's cute. It adds little hearts to it and everything. And I think it's, especially for a girly birthday. But then we can go ahead and drag this in. Oops. Shrink that down. I want to change the color. I'm going to choose a gel pen here. What machine? Okay. I have Maker 4 selected. I was like, wait, what machine do I have selected? Because that's going to change your options. If I had Joy selected, well, this would be too big for a Joy, but just say I did have Joy selected, then it would only show me the options for the Joy pens. But I do like to not put it too low. I like to have so there's some room so you can write something under it if you like. Which I think everybody does. You know, at least got to sign your card. All right, and then I thought we would add a drawn flamingo too. So we're going to go back into images. Let's go Flamingo. And we're going to take the print then cut away, and we're going to switch this to a draw. Hello. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for joining us. All right, so there is a couple flamingos that you can go ahead and have draw. I just want like a simple one. Oh, that's a Santa. I was like, what is this flamingo? He's got Christmas lights on him, packages, Santa. That'd be so cute. I just got to add this. Not for this, but this would be so cute for a Florida Christmas card. Or just people who love flamingos. That's adorable. We're not going to use him, but I love him. Oh, and all these mosaic ones. Okay, let's go ahead and grab that one. Shrink that down. And I'm going to change him to pink also. Like that. Although it really bothers me this flamingo does not have an eyeball. Does that bother anyone else? I'm like, I think he needs an eyeball. Thanks, Jeanette. I appreciate it. Let's give this flamingo an eyeball. I just can't handle it. So we're just going to grab a circle here. We're going to make it teeny, teeny, tiny. That's still too big. But we're going to go ahead and zoom in. Zoom in on that. To make it even smaller. You can see I'm zoomed all the way into 350. So to get the edges, if I'm not zoomed in, you see I can't even grab the side to shrink it. You can change the size up here always, but you have to zoom in till it shows up around it just like that. All right, let's take this little guy. Put that on the flamingo. Do I feel it's in the wrong place? Let's go this way a little bit. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and change this to a pen. We don't want it to cut, so we're going to go pen. And we're going to change that to the same color. So we were gel and pink. I feel better, although I feel like it's kind of too big. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. There we go. I feel better now. The flamingo has an eyeball. I feel better. Okay, and then once we get all the draw that we want, we can go ahead and select each piece. So we're gonna hit the eye, hit the flamingo, and then we're gonna grab the words. Wait, hold on. I think I want to move the words a tiny bit. Okay, we're gonna do that again. So grab your eyeball, your flamingo, grab the words, and then we're gonna go ahead and grab the flattened piece and we're gonna hit attach. Now this is all one piece. So we'll go ahead, print then cut. You'll print it out, then you put it on, it'll draw on it, and then it'll cut it out as one piece. So that is the finished card. And I did it within an hour, yay! Yeah, could do have a flamazing day, you could. I know when I was looking through projects, a lot of people said have a flaming birthday for the flamingo, and I thought that was interesting. I did not, so that's another possibility, but there were several of them, and they all said have, I couldn't find ones that said have a flamazing, but they were like have a flaming birthday. Oh yes, DJ Font, or DJ Flirt is the font. So that is that. But do you guys think I should extend this water? I just feel like there could be more blue here. So I may end up even duplicating it. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab I'd have to build a whole new thing off of it, which I can, but then I'd slice it through. So let's see, what kind of shape. I think I'll go in and find a different like stream or something, but that's just a possibility. You could take and cut this off here too. Ooh. And glue that on and get it thicker, but I may play with that. Yeah, see, I think so too, Sherry. It needs more water. It's just too little of the water. Which I would bring this flamingo to the front too. That way it looks like he's standing in the water. That way his foot's in the water. But yeah, I'm definitely going to play with that. So on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, I will go ahead and put this card together live. So you can join me then. And yeah, when I get done with here, I'm going to play with that water some. Because it's just not enough water. He needs more. So, thank you guys for joining and thanks for all the chat. So this project will be, after I put it together, I make sure everything goes together first, then I add it into our files for all of our Patreons. Yeah, thank you guys for the thumbs up. We appreciate if you give us the thumbs up and the loves and the comments. Aw, thank you, Gloria. Melody's so creative. So creative. There's so much you can do. So much you can do. All loose. I just always like to get inspired by something, you know, and lots of times it's a new image sets because I was like flamingo and I was like, ooh, the flamingo with a cocktail. We haven't done one of those and it's just cute. Yeah, everybody have a good weekend and I will see you guys Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Happy crafting, guys. Go Panthers. Kimberly said go Cubs. I'm wearing a Cubs shirt today. The Cubs, hey, the Cubs are doing great right now. They just swept the Dodgers. I don't know what's going on. We got good Cubs mojo going on, so we're keeping that. My hubby's happy. He's a huge Cubs fan. Everywhere we go, he's wearing Cubs, and people ask him about, oh, how are the Cubs doing? But we will see you guys